In this video, I'm reviewing Hi HealthInnovations Hearing Aids and their hearing care delivery model. Coming up. Hi guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Anthem, Arizona. And on this channel, I cover a bunch of hearing-related information to help make you a better informed consumer. So if you're into that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to click the bell to receive a notification every time I post a new video. Hi HealthInnovations is owned by United Healthcare, and their hearing aids are manufactured by a company named Intricon, which also happens to make low-cost hearing aids for a variety of different hearing aid brands. That being said, Hi HealthInnovations offers several different hearing aid models. The Hi BTE, the Hi BTE Wireless, the Hi BTE Power Plus, the Hi BTE Power Plus Wireless, and the Hi ITC. According to a Hi Health hearing instrument specialist, one of the major hearing aid brands, Starkey, also supplies a power hearing aid to Hi HealthInnovations. But in this video, I'm reviewing the Hi BTE Wireless device, which uses a slim tube and rubber dome that goes inside of your ear. It also has a push button for program adjustment and a push button for volume adjustment. It uses a size 312 battery and has dual microphones with 16 channels. Now, I'm not a huge fan of slim tube devices, no matter what company makes them. I much prefer using a Receiver-In-Canal or a RIC wire that goes inside of my ear. It just fits better and it has better performance characteristics. But this is what this one looks like when wearing it, to give you a little bit of perspective there of them behind my ear. And you can get them in whatever color you want, as long as those colors are either champagne or graphite. Alright, so now you know the basic characteristics of these devices and what they look like, so let's go ahead and get into the 6 positives that I find with these hearing aids from Hi HealthInnovations. And positive number 1 is the low cost. That is, if you have United Healthcare insurance. Now, I paid about $1,000 per device without United Healthcare insurance, which I believe is really expensive for what you get with these hearing devices. But individuals with United Healthcare insurance can get devices for anywhere between $400 and $0 depending on what your policy is. Follow-up visits are really low cost as well. After your 75-day trial period is over and you decide to keep these devices, additional follow-up visits are only $50 per 30-minute visit, and you get an annual hearing test for free. The second positive is convenience. Now, even though the FDA issued a cease and desist letter to Hi HealthInnovations to stop them from using their online hearing test, you can still get a hearing test from another hearing care provider and send it in to Hi HealthInnovations so their hearing care providers can review it and give you a recommendation on which devices are best for you. When I submitted my audiogram to Hi HealthInnovations, they immediately recognized the asymmetrical loss that was on it and recommended that I go see an ear, nose, and throat physician, which is absolutely the right call considering an asymmetrical hearing loss could indicate a serious medical condition. Once you submit your hearing test online, you can actually order your devices directly from their website and have them sent to your home. Upon receiving your devices, you can jump on an introductory conference call that they have Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time, or you can even get a hold of them to do a FaceTime or an online video chat Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. They also have several helpful videos on their website to show you how to use your hearing aids if you've never used hearing aids before. If you'd prefer a more personalized touch, you can always schedule an appointment to see a Hi HealthInnovations hearing care providers to have them test you and give you a recommendation on which devices would work best for you, and then they can even program those devices for you and make sure that you know how to work them. Positive number 3 is that these devices are programmable. Unlike a lot of hearing aids that you purchase online, you can actually take these Hi HealthInnovations devices to a Hi Health hearing aid clinic and have them adjusted by the hearing care provider who's on staff. You can also actually send them to Hi HealthInnovations and tell them what changes you want made in them. They can make those adjustments and send them back to you. Positive number 4 is the Telecoil. Now, I'm a huge fan of having a Telecoil inside of a hearing aid. Basically, a Telecoil will let you collect the audio from whatever the sound system is of a public venue that you're in. As long as that public venue has a sign like this in it, it means it's looped and ready to go for a Telecoil. All you have to do is switch into your Telecoil program and it will start to collect the sound from the soundboard of that facility. Now, I like to evaluate a telecoil by actually listening to that telecoil through a neck loop. This neck loop acts like a loop that you would find inside of a public venue, but because I didn't have a chance to get to a public venue to do this review, I was able to listen to music directly from this wrapped around my neck. That being said, the audio came through pretty soft, so I had to crank up the volume, and even then, it wasn't as loud as I would have liked it. So when you're getting your hearing aids fit to you, make sure that you tell your hearing care professional to increase or adjust the volume wherever you like to have it, and verify it inside of their clinic. Number 5 is the smartphone app. Now, while the wireless versions do not let you stream audio directly from a smart device into the hearing aids, they do give you access to a pretty cool smartphone app that lets you use it as a remote control. Place the batteries inside of your hearing aids and close your battery doors. Click on Connect for each device and select the serial number of that device. Your smartphone will already know which device is for your left ear and which device is for your right ear. A few seconds later, it will say left and right hearing aid connected. Now you can adjust your hearing aid programs depending on the environment that you're in, and you can adjust the volume of your hearing aids or mute them altogether. The streaming tab lets you adjust the volume of your remote microphone. You can make the sound coming from the remote microphone equal to your hearing aid microphones, or you can increase it so most of your sound is coming from the remote mic itself. Which naturally leads me into number 6, which is the remote microphone. When you buy the wireless versions of these devices, it comes with a remote microphone that they call the companion mic. Now, if you've seen my other videos where I'm talking about understanding speech better in a background noise situation, you'll most definitely hear me talking about assistive listening devices like these. A remote microphone is basically something that you clip to someone else's shirt when you go into a noisy environment. You make sure that that remote microphone is turned on, and it will start streaming the audio right from their mouth into your hearing aids, and you'll be able to hear them substantially better. So imagine you go to a restaurant. That restaurant is noisy, and you're there with your significant other. You clip this microphone to their shirt, you turn it on, and every time that they talk, it sends that audio right into your hearing aids, and their voice doesn't mix in with all that background noise as it gets to the hearing aids normally. Now, when I was testing a remote microphone, I found it to be a little bit spotty going into the left hearing aid, but it was pretty clean going into the right hearing aid. Now, if your remote microphone works well for you, it could mean the difference between you hearing and understanding the person you want to hear in a background noise situation and just sitting across the table and smiling and nodding, pretending you're hearing what they're saying. Alright, that's it for the positives. Now let's get into the not so positive things about these Hi HealthInnovations hearing aids, and not so positive thing number 1 is the programming. While these devices can be custom programmed, do not expect them to be programmed correctly if you order them online and you don't have them adjusted inside of a clinic. Proper custom programming of hearing aids requires the use of real ear measurement. Now, if you don't know what real ear measurement is, I highly recommend that you check out my video that I will link in the description, because it is the only way to ensure that your hearing aids are programmed correctly to your hearing loss prescription. These are the audiogram thresholds that I submitted to Hi HealthInnovations, which they used to pre-program a set of devices before mailing them to me. When I ran a prescription check using real ear measurement, they did not meet the prescriptive targets for the hearing loss that I submitted inside of the left ear. The hash mark lines indicate the prescription for this hearing loss, and the solid lines indicate the amplification given by the Hi Health hearing aids when measured inside of my ear canal. Ideally, the hash mark lines and solid lines would overlap with each other. In the right ear, they do a pretty good job. However, in the left ear, the Hi Health hearing aid does not match the prescription of amplification for this hearing loss. When I first received my hearing aids, I called into the conference line to see what advice they would give me for actually using these hearing devices. The one question that I would consistently ask is, how do I know that these hearing aids are programmed correctly for me? And the response that they kept giving me was, well, do you feel like your voice sounds different to you? And of course my voice did sound different to me, but that has no bearing on whether or not your hearing aids are actually programmed correctly. The other issue that I have with the programming is that while Hi HealthInnovations hearing clinics have access to real ear measurement equipment, they do not require that their hearing care providers actually use that equipment. And so it really relies on whether or not the hearing care professional that you get is willing to follow the proper best practices of programming your hearing devices. Number 2 is the limitations of their technology. While these devices are very similar to the earventure Revel hearing aids that are also manufactured by Intricon, that I gave a very favorable review for back a few months ago in a video that I did about them, these devices just do not perform up to even the basic level of technology that you would get from a major hearing aid brand. Take hearing and background noise, for example. Higher quality hearing aids do a substantially better job of reducing sounds from behind you and accentuating sounds from in front of you. This is called directionality, which is a feature that we can also objectively measure. When evaluating the directional microphone capabilities of a hearing aid, we compare amplification when sound is presented to the front of the hearing aid, which is illustrated by the red curve, to the amplification when sound is presented to the back of the hearing aid, which is illustrated by the turquoise curve. What we should see is a reduction of amplification when sound is played from the back of the hearing aid, which would be illustrated by a turquoise curve that is significantly lower than the red curve on this graph. These test results suggest that these devices have limited ability to reduce background noise, making it more difficult to hear in a noisy situation. Number 3 is the warranty. Hi Health Innovations gives you a 3-year warranty on their devices, but they state that this warranty does not cover malfunctions due to unusual wear and tear, unauthorized alteration, or mistreatment of the hearing aid, such as physical shock, damage from moisture or sweat, excessive wax buildup, or tampering with the instrument, all of which void the warranty. While it does make sense for the warranty not to cover unusual wear and tear of devices, to have the warranty not cover things like sweat and wax buildup inside of their devices seems ridiculous, since those are probably the 2 most common reasons for device malfunctions. So basically the warranty only works if you are extremely careful with your devices, you don't build up earwax, and you never sweat. The 4th not so positive thing is access to in-person help. While it is possible to find an excellent hearing care provider through Hi Health Innovations, those providers tend to jump around from location to location over the course of a week or 2. And if you end up having issues with your hearing aids, which seem to only happen at the most inopportune time, if your hearing care provider is not in your clinic or you can't travel to the clinic that they're in, you're basically out of luck until the rotation comes back around to being in the location closest to you. There also appears to be some pretty minimum quality controls in place for hearing care providers who work with Hi Health Innovations, because I have seen some absolutely horrible fitting and programming jobs done on Hi Health Innovations hearing aids, but on the other hand, I've seen some pretty good programming done on these devices as well. You just really need to make sure that the hearing care provider that you're going to at that Hi Health Innovations is actually good at what they do. And the 5th not so positive thing about Hi Health Innovations hearing aids is that their software inside of the hearing aids is locked. Now this is probably my number 1 pet peeve, and it's not just Hi Health Innovations that does this. This is a variety of different hearing aid companies that lock their hearing aids, but basically what a locked hearing aid means is that you can't take that hearing aid anywhere you want to for servicing and reprogramming. You have to go back to the place that you actually got that hearing aid from. So if the Hi Health Innovations provider that you were working with ends up leaving and they bring in someone who has no clue what they're doing, you're basically out of luck. At the end of the day, United Healthcare probably saves a ton of money by having their subscribers go through Hi Health Innovations to get low-cost hearing aids. And as long as you have realistic expectations on what your performance will be with these devices, and you find a hearing care provider who actually follows best practices like real ear measurement, you should be able to get a reasonable amount of benefit with these devices. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you liked the video, please share it. And if you want to see other videos just like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time.